To Conquer a Bride by Naima Simone. Narrated by Winston James and Elise Anthony.
1. Neil. Year 2117. Holy shit. I'm getting married. I inhale and, slowly exhaling, glance out of the glass wall of the companionway. In the distance, Nelson Dock Pier is a silhouette against the steadily deepening purple sky, and through the cracked door in front of me, the fresh, salty scent of the Thames lends a fragrance sweeter than any flower to me. I've grown up on ships, on the water. It's fitting that I marry on both. Initially, I'd balked at the wedding taking place in London. Though this is my fiancé's family's home, mine is in Boston. But now, I'm glad I compromised. This day is perfect. Thank God for the UK's Environmental Act of 2057. My grandmother mutters next to me with a sniff. If not, we would be breathing in shit right now. Biting the inside of my cheek, I swallow a snicker. You're horrible, I whisper. Be good, woman. Luce Hudson snorts. And this time, I can't quite hold in my quiet laughter. Her signature lavender and vanilla fragrance teases me, and I hug that sense of familiarity close. As of today, everything in my life will change, and if I could, I'd hoard that elegant yet calming scent. Take it out and hold it close like a safety blanket whenever I need it to remember where I came from, who I came from. Are you sure, baby girl? Mama abruptly turns to me and her fingers press into my shoulders. I don't give a damn about the people waiting for us on this yacht. If you tell me right now that he isn't the man for you, that this isn't what you want, I will jump ship right now and won't stop until we hit Boston. She's not bullshitting. 3 things my grandmother doesn't mess around about. Her husband and my grandfather, Marcel Hudson. The family company Crown Shipping. And me. She will turn around and leave the ship, the wedding be damned. It's just, she's the original ride or die. Lifting my hands, I cover hers and squeeze. I miss him too, I whisper. My indomitable grandmother's face crumbles for just a moment before she ducks her head. But she can't hide her throat working as she convulsively swallows, no doubt battling back tears. The tears that glisten in her eyes when she looks back at me seconds later. I wish he was here, she rasps. He should be here. Yes, he, Marcel Hudson, my grandfather and her husband, should be here on today of all days. He should be here to walk me down the aisle and give me away alongside my grandmother. Since our family is matriarchal, tradition dictates not only that the males who marry into our family take the last name Hudson, but that this would be my grandmother's duty and honor. But to hell with tradition. Granddad became my father when my own died in a plane crash with my mother when I was 2. From the archived news records and clippings, the media found it as ironic as the world that my father and my mom, the heir to Crown Shipping, met death in the air instead of in the water. I didn't give a damn about the where. Dead is dead. Just as missing is missing. And my grandfather has been missing for 2 years. In a way, him being missing is worse than if he died. Death has finality, an ending. Missing doesn't. There's always a question about, if he's truly gone, if he will one day walk back through that door, yelling for us with that deep, booming voice with one of his many fantastical stories about where he's been for the last 752 days. Yes, I've counted every single one of them. So has my grandmother. Mama clears her throat and, freeing her hands from mine, lifts them and cups my cheeks. Lowering my head, she brushes a kiss over my forehead. I know with every piece of me that your grandfather would climb out of hell itself to be here by your side. Nothing would keep him away from his precious Neil. I know. I squeeze her wrists and note their fragility. She might curse like a sailor, but there are moments like these, when I touch her delicate bones, that I'm bluntly reminded that she's 81 years old. Mama is one of those women blessed with superior genes. Her smooth, mahogany skin remains mostly unlined, but she's done nothing to surgically remove a wrinkle or line from her face or a pound on her petite body. No, she proudly displays them. She calls them proof of a well-lived and loved life. Yet the last 2 years have been difficult. My grandparents were a true love match, and being without her other half has taken its toll. I worry. Granddad going missing damn near destroyed me. Losing Mama would. I shut my eyes if the gesture would block out the thought, the possibility. But if my life has taught me one lesson, time and time again with a casualness that's breathless in its cruelty, it's that death doesn't give a single fuck. It comes for everyone with no respect for who the person is. Mama presses the pads of her thumbs into my cheekbones, and I open my eyes, meeting hers. He would have been so proud of you, Neil. And I say would've, because you and I both know only death would have kept him from being here today. Her voice hoarsens, and my heart thrusts against my ribcage like a fist attempting to throw a wild punch. My lips part, but she shakes her head, a small ghost of a smile curving her lips. No, baby girl. You're about to be a married woman, a wife. It's time we both admit what we refuse to say to anyone else, even if it's just to each other. She pauses, swallows, and a sharp, terrible sadness flashes in her eyes, and my breath snags in my lungs. Your grandfather's gone. He's dead. A screaming objection climbs up from my soul and echoes inside my head and chest. No! The terrified little girl deep inside me slaps her hands over her ears. I don't want to hear this. As long as we don't voice the words aloud, then there remains the possibility that he can return to us. Mama, I croak. No. She lowers her hands, clasps my shoulders again. Today we're facing the truth together. We both know heaven or hell couldn't have kept him from handing his little girl over to the person the person who will protect her just as she protects him or her. And he would have walked you down that aisle with tears in his eyes, a smile on his face, and with a hug for the person waiting at the altar. That's who he was. Was, baby girl. But I'm going to be the only person with that honor today. And I'm not telling you anything you don't know when I say I'm cut from a different cloth. I've never sugar-coated shit a day in my life. And just because you're standing here in this wedding dress, I'm not about to start now. She tilts her head, studies me. And I've seen grown men cower and crumble under that merciless stare. But I'm the woman she raised.